Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trenton's Tech, and today I'm gonna tell you guys some ways on how to make your cover screen on your Z Fold more usable. I know a lot of people have been talking about how they don't want to get one of these because the cover screen's unusable, and they're afraid to get one because the screen is too small. So that's not the debate today. Today is basically how to make the experience better if you were to get one of these and you're kind of struggling a little bit. So the first thing we can talk about is the text size. And honestly, if you guys haven't noticed already, the text on this screen is bigger. So one of the things you can do is you can change the default text size that comes on this phone to something larger if you can't see. So if we go here and already have some stuff open, if we go to our settings, and let's just go up here and let's go to settings. And let's open. So as you guys can see here, we're in our settings. We're going to go to display, and let's go down to fonts and font style and text size. As you can see here, I have it a little bit on the larger side. So that's one thing you can do to, make life a little bit better. I think by default, it's like somewhere down here, and that's kind of small for some people. So if you need to be able to see a little bit better, you can turn it up. So if we go ahead and we turn this back down, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to Twitter, and now it's going to adjust, and you can basically see how this looks. So for some people this may work, for some people it may be too small. So let's go back, and I'm just gonna turn this back up, maybe just a smidget higher. And then if we go back to Twitter, and this is gonna work across your apps, it's a little bit easier to see things now. So that's one way to make the phone cover display more usable. The other thing that I do is that even though I have a fingerprint sensor here, I'm a little bit of a lefty. So a lot of times I will just use a pattern unlock to just unlock the phone. That way I don't have to worry about doing anything, super extra with hand gymnastics or anything. I could just double tap the screen, and then I can put my code in, and I can get straight into the phone. So that makes life a little bit easier. The other thing that you can do, and this may help you out, I guess, guys who have larger hands or you don't want to do extra thumb gymnastics, is you can actually change your home screen up, and you can change the size of the apps, of the grid, how many you have, the orientation and whatnot. So right now I have it in a 5x6, basically because I just like to squeeze as much stuff on the screen as possible. But you can switch these around from 5x6 to 5x5, or you can go to a 4x6, and you can even go to a 4x5. Now I want to say it's either 4x5 or 4x6 by default, but it spreads it out based on the size. So as you start spreading these out, you don't have to be as precise with moving your hand around to click on the screen since it's smaller. If you want to make it really big, you can do that, and so it's easier to press these buttons, it's easier to select things. So that's another thing that you can do to make this more usable. So it's all about just adjusting the phone to what's going to work for you and doing the tweaks here and there. So like I said, that's another way that you guys can kind of make life a little bit easier. And then I would say the last part is learn the gestures. Okay. One thing you can do, maybe you know this, maybe you don't. You don't have to go all the way to the top to swipe down. You can literally swipe down from the middle of the screen to access certain menus, or you can swipe down and then swipe again to access things further. Like I said, you can pretty much long press anywhere on the screen to access certain things. So there's a lot of reachability features in this phone I guess if it's too tall for you, or like I said, you can't really move your hand around that much. So that's some stuff you can take advantage of. Honestly, at the bottom, I take advantage of having the back button, home button, and app switcher, because I can just hit those buttons down at the bottom. Some of you out there love gestures. Use the gestures. It pretty much works and it makes life easier. So those are just a couple of ways that I make this more usable and I make it work for me. If you guys have any like tips or anything else you can think of. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I forgot. There's one more thing you can do, and I'm going to show you guys here. So if we go, let's say we're to go make a tweet, right? Because this is one of my bigger complaints. Make a post. Okay. So as you guys can see here, right now I am using the Gboard keyboard. And the reason why I use the Gboard keyboard is it's easier for me to type on than it is with the Samsung keyboard. So if you go down to the bottom right corner here, and let's hit that. Let's see. So we got Gboard, and then we got the Samsung keyboard. If we go to the Samsung keyboard, for whatever reason, it's just harder for me to type on this. I think it's because the letters are smaller or differently spaced out or whatnot, but I have a hard time typing on here. So somebody in the comment section in the last video said, hey, why don't you try out Gboard? And so I tried it out, and what do you know? When I switched to Gboard, it is so much easier for me to type. The swiping works pretty good for me, and I can type one-handed a lot easier now and not run into issues. So that's basically what I'm doing with that to kind of make this easier. So yeah, bigger font, different keyboard, using gestures, switching up the home screen. Instead of using the fingerprint sensor, I do have a pattern unlock that I use a lot. So that actually makes using this one-handed a lot easier. So yeah, like I said, if you guys have any more tips or tricks that you guys can think of that I missed, that you guys think that other people should know, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below. All right, y'all, take it easy. See you in the next video. Peace.